This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Monday. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. Up to August the 7th. Big change this week. Thursday is when Manatee County heads back to school, and a week from today it's in Sarasota County.
I know. Can you believe it? Already it's time to head back to the classroom.
Yeah, it's always unusual in Florida. Starts in August in Florida. I'm from the north where it's after Labor Day, obviously, but that's all news. Let's get to the forecast now. Good morning, John Scalzi.
Good morning to you guys. How you doing?
Good.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was pretty hot. I got to go to the beach actually one of the days, and it was a scorcher out there.
Yeah, it was hot out there. I played tennis. It was a bad idea.
Yeah. I mowed the lawn, and it was a bad idea.
Man.
Oh, my gosh. It was so thick and humid. You may have noticed, though, that we've kind of returned to a more normal summertime pattern where we get the showers and thunderstorms that build inland and then drift back to the coast a little bit later in the day. Some of the storms were pretty big yesterday around the area. Taking a look at radar right now, not a whole lot of action. I think over the next several mornings, you'll find that the morning time is going to be kind of clear. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of activity except out in Gulf waters, perhaps. But those storms would be moving away from our coast, not toward our coast. That's a 180-degree difference from what we saw last week. Not much in the way of cloud cover around, so it'll be another day with plenty of sunshine boosting our temperatures way up there into the low 90s. Feels like temperatures 100 to 105 and about a 40% chance of a late day shower. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, John, talk to you again soon. Checking Suncoast traffic. First off in Manatee County, no issues to report at this hour. All smooth. Farther south now, little blip there along the bayfront. Not exactly sure which direction that's the problem, but it looks like you want to avoid that for now until the construction cones clear up there. And then farther south, an issue there in Venice on the way toward Nokomis. Otherwise, all clear at 5:02 on your Monday morning.
Topping our news this morning, a violent weekend shakes the Suncoast with two double homicides happening in less than 48 hours. The first at a new resort on Longboat Key and the second in a Bradenton neighborhood.
Yeah, this morning the killers in both cases remain on the loose, and police believe there is no connection between the two cases. Our Jess Dowdrick joins us now live from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office with more on the investigations. Jess?
Good morning, Jacqueline and Ray. In Manatee County over the weekend, there were 5 homicides in 2 separate incidents. Now police are trying to identify those responsible and put them behind bars. The first incident happened at the Zoda Beach Resort on Longboat Key early Friday morning. This masked man went into the hotel just after 2:30. Police say he robbed the front desk clerk and security guard before shooting and killing them both, fleeing the hotel with the cash drawer. The victims are Timothy Hurley of Sarasota and Kevin Clark of Bradenton. Police have offered an $18,000 reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest and conviction of those responsible. Although the video only shows one suspect, police believe others could be involved. The second shooting spree happened in the Bayshore Gardens neighborhood on Saturday. A 25-year-old woman living in this home told deputies she was approached by 3 to 4 suspects, was forced into a bedroom inside of the home where she heard yelling and gunshots from outside of the door. She escaped and called 911. Deputies arrived to find 2 men dead inside of the home. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is still looking for 3 to 4 murder suspects in that case. The victims have been identified as Keith Jones from Jacksonville and Rodney Williams from Tampa. Now, there was another body found shortly after that second double homicide in Sarasota. Police are still investigating whether or not that death is related to the ones in Bayshore Gardens. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Jess. New developments now on that body that was found near the Bay of Vista and Yale Avenue in Sarasota. Detectives identify the body as Andre Bryant, a man who spent 9 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. This was Bryant's mugshot taken when he was convicted in a high-profile armed robbery in Manatee County back in 2006. He was given a 30-year prison sentence, but always maintained his innocence. Now, the state attorney's office again looked into Bryant's case after a Sarasota Herald-Tribune investigation that sparked reasonable doubt as to his involvement. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating his death and looking into a possible connection between it and that double homicide in Bayshore Gardens.
All right. Meanwhile, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office has identified a suspect involved in a strong armed robbery in Northwest Bradenton Friday night. The victim told deputies he saw a blonde man with black shorts acting suspicious and took a photo of him. When he returned home, he was confronted by the suspect. The two got into a fight before the suspect ran away. The victim is still recovering from injuries this morning. However, a firearm was found on the suspect, but no charges have been made.
A hazmat situation in a Venice strip mall shut down shopping for the weekend. The Sarasota County Fire Department responded to a pool supply store along Jacaranda Boulevard after reports of a chemical spill. Crews arrived to find a 1,300-gallon tank had several holes in it and was leaking chlorine into an overflow basin. Crews worked to evacuate surrounding businesses in the area in fear that the concentrated chemical may cause inhalation problems.
With the chlorine, our hazardous materials crew advised me that typically the chlorine itself leaking isn't going to be too much of an issue, just based on it's the same type of chemical that you put in your pool, but it's highly concentrated. The main issue would be if it were to get wet, that there could be some irritation, an inhalation hazard or something to that effect.
So a crew removed the leaking tank and also replaced the overflow basin that the chlorine leaked into. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported.
The Suncoast continues to mourn the tragic death of Snooty the manatee, who passed just 2 weeks ago. Animal rights protesters taking to the South Florida Museum that was home to the iconic 69-year-old sea cow and calling for a change in staff. An investigation found that Snooty drowned when he became stuck in a 30 by 30-inch tunnel used to access plumbing for his tank. It's a passage that's usually blocked by an access panel that is bolted shut. Protesters are calling the incident negligent by museum employees.
I understand there are 3 other manatees in possession of this museum, and we would like to see the protocol for the future care and safety of these manatees.
We are speaking on behalf of people all over the world. I've been contacted by people outside of Florida, outside of the United States, who want us to speak for Snooty since he cannot speak for himself.
The South Florida Museum is currently conducting an internal investigation following Snooty's death with the help of a third party. In response to this weekend's protest, the museum said in a statement, quote, "No one is more committed to the well-being of manatees cared for at the South Florida Museum than our team members. Without facts, it's not appropriate to speculate or make any allegations. When the review is complete and action steps are determined, the museum is committed to sharing that information publicly." Well, 5:08 on your Monday morning, and the countdown continues until the first day of school right here on the Suncoast. In Sarasota County, still a few days to get those last-minute supplies, but for Manatee County students, they're heading back this Thursday on the 10th.
And luckily, one local mother is looking to help less fortunate parents cross off all the items on their school supply list. Erica Jackson has her story.
Got to get clothes, shoes, and some stuff I couldn't get.
It's a year of firsts for Destiny Dexter. She recently got her 4 kids back from the Department of Children and Families. Now her 1-year-old is getting ready to start daycare for the first time as her daughter prepares for first grade.
She growing out of her shoes, so you have to buy more shoes, got to buy more clothes, so she's growing up.
Also growing the cost of clothing and school supplies for her kids. A survey by the National Retail Federation finds families will spend nearly $700 this year on supplies. But Dexter thinks she's spending more with 4 kids heading to school.
With the daycare, I have to buy pull-ups, bring blankets, mats, and all that stuff.
Even if they have a job, it's still hard because you have bills.
Newtown mom and local comedian Latrice Allen sees families struggle this time of year, which is why she asked her fans around the country for help.
We basically raised up money, like $1,500, and then I had some sending in packages and still sending in money to help me out with this.
Now dozens of kids will be ready for the first day of school with brand new backpacks filled with supplies. Allen says Sunday's school supply drive did not discriminate based on a family's income, but she made sure the only kids taking home backpacks did not already have one for this year.
Even if you work, you still deserve, to have some time, some money to yourself.
Most people are like, oh no, that's embarrassing, but it's really not. It's helpful. The kids happy, at least they got something to go to school with.
Reporting in Newtown, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, speaking of last-minute summer fun, the Northport Mustangs cheer camp got down to business over the weekend, setting their sights on victory with a fundraising car wash. The funds going towards the Pop Warner cheerleading squad for regional and national competitions. Organizers of the car wash say these efforts will help prepare them for the school year ahead by teaching them valuable skills.
It takes a lot of trust and bonding for them to be able to do the stunt correctly and legally, so to say. So it definitely helps them out. It brings them together, keeps them occupied, keeps them out of trouble, and most importantly, it keeps them very healthy.
As for the cheerleaders, they say the camp gives them the opportunity to be active and, of course, make some new friends.
Several Suncoast churches and professional services work together to get needy children ready for the school year. St. Wilfrid's Episcopal Church in Sarasota was one of those churches, and dozens of children were able to get free medical and dental checkups, vision and hearing tests, a haircut, and a backpack full of school supplies.
It's important for kids to have what they need, as well as to have at least seen a doctor, at least seen a dentist, gotten their hearing and their vision checked so that their parents know that they're ready to go and they don't have any challenges.
32 churches and 38 schools in the Suncoast are involved with the Days for Hope initiative.
Manatee County's largest one-day adoption event was back over the weekend, placing animals in need of a loving home with a new family. Manatee County Animal Services hosting the Pet Expo at the Bradenton Area Convention Center in Palmetto. The goal of that event was to reduce the shelter's overpopulation, but it was much more than just animals benefiting from that event.
In addition to Animal Services, we have about 12 other local rescues bring animals to the event. It's a great way for us to outreach to the community and also share all of our resources with people who are interested in animals and pets.
We've seen every dog we'd like to take home, but we're only limited to one, so that's all we're willing to do.
The expo exceeded the amount of animals adopted last year, with over 50 animals now finding their forever homes.
And a 10-year-old Sarasota girl has a birthday party guest list that no classmates have as well. Last year, Grace Wigman invited her school resource officer to attend, but he couldn't make it, so he called in a backup. A lieutenant and a sergeant with the force responded to make Grace's birthday extra special. And this year, she invited them back again, so it's a tradition now. Several more deputies came by to wish her a happy birthday. Very good initiative by that young lady.
Look, they just keep growing. More and more officers showing up. What an awesome birthday present for her.
Good for them. Make the kids trust law enforcement. It's a win-win situation.
Of course.
You were involved in a thing with the Tiny Hands Foundation this weekend.
That's right. We had over 1,600 backpacks filled with school supplies. People from all across the community came out, and then families were able, if they didn't have any school supplies for the school year, were able to come out and get a backpack as well. So I have lots of pictures posted on my Facebook from that event. You guys can go ahead and check that out.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is so important, you know, because, boy, a pencil or two can make all the difference between, you know, a kid succeeding and not.
Very true.
Having a book in the backpack. We're looking at some pleasant weather today. We kind of return to our typical summertime weather. Talk about that in a sec.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, we'll talk to a local mother about the challenges of keeping her daughter safe on social media. How much posting is too much? Well, we'll have some tips for you.
And later in the hour, we'll go back to the sheriff's office for an update on a pair of double homicides Friday and Saturday on the Suncoast. Stay with us.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a very pleasant start to the day, I think, with 77-degree air temperature, dew point 74. It's kind of typical for this time of year to get those values. The east wind comes in at about 6. It's a warm, sticky start to what will end up being a very warm afternoon. The east wind, interesting, that's a kind of a shift from what we have seen over the past couple of weeks, actually. We've had either a calm wind in the morning or a westerly wind or a southwesterly wind. Well, now with this easterly wind established, we have the air coming over land across the region during the morning hours. And temperatures are fairly uniform because of that. 77 Wauchula, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota. 78 degrees in Northport, Punta Gorda. A little warmer right through Venice and Inglewood with 79 and 81, and Longboat Key coming in at 80. As we head into the next couple of days, we will be watching a little bit of drier air. That's indicated here by this tan contour, kind of sinking air, getting a little bit closer to us and helping to reduce rain chances just a tiny little bit. Also, the winds, that east wind, will be slackening just a little bit, so our sea breeze will be moving further inland. And of course, our sea breeze is the kind of focal point, the trigger mechanism for the showers and thunderstorms to build later in the day. So the further inland that goes, the further inland the showers go. So over the next couple of days, maybe a little drier than today. Your eye obviously drawn to this big blob down to the south. We have a new tropical storm, Franklin, down here. This is of zero threat to the United States. Actually a little sinking air along the periphery of that cloud cover. In part helping to reduce rain chances just to our south right now. But for today, we have plenty of moisture to work with, and so consequently with that easterly wind flow, we're already triggering off a few scattered showers in the tip of the state. Nothing over us right now, but there will be as we head later on into the afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms will build mostly along the I-75 corridor, and then those showers will gradually drift back to the coast. But for the morning, everything looks pretty quiet. In fact, for the rest of this week, I think our mornings should be pretty quiet. So for those back-to-schoolers, it should be, at least for the bus ride to school, a dry start to the day. As far as the satellite view goes, not a whole lot of cloud cover either, so it'll be a warm one. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, brings us that easterly wind. To the north of us, flood warnings for a lot of the country due to this stalled frontal boundary and little areas of low pressure running along it, producing excessive amounts of rainfall. You'll be hearing about that in the news over the next several days. The easterly wind collides with our sea breeze, building the storms, pushing them back toward the coast later in the afternoon. That is a pattern which will be with us all week long, with a 30 to 40% chance of showers each and every day. Pretty typical for this time of year. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic this morning in Manatee County, looks like there are some slowdowns. 301 heading northbound, also State Road 70 heading towards the interstate. 41 and I-75 looking good, but there is some big slowdowns on the Bayfront towards as you're heading towards Longboat Key, it looks like. Other than that, it looks like I-75, Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Road looking good. Not a whole lot of slowdowns except for in throughout Nokomis on Business 41, 520 on your Monday morning. And school starts Thursday in Manatee County and next week in Sarasota County.
So we thought we'd talk about the ever-growing issue of kids on social media. We have some tips on how parents can reduce the risk.
Snapchat and Instagram.
10-year-old Sailor Han of Sarasota has her favorite social media pages, and her mother, Brooke, has an issue with both of them.
We're constantly on the Snapchat, and you know, and the picture disappears, supposedly, so you kind of don't know really what they're seeing, and that really concerns me.
As for Instagram, Brooke has a horror story about that one through a friend's daughter.
It was a guy from overseas, and he found her Instagram account, and he had actually killed a few girls off of Instagram, and her picture was on his wall.
Brooke is all too aware the bad guys are out there and watching closely.
They're posting in their bathing suits. You know, we live at the beach. They're constantly doing the selfies with the bathing, you know, and you try, but you can't keep up with everything, you know, because there's new apps coming out every day, and it's hard as a parent to keep up.
Sad thing, because you're having to give them some life lessons that you'd rather wait a few more years to tell them.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, my daughter's 10 right now, and I have to have these conversations with her, and you know, they think everything's innocent, and you know, to them it is innocent, but to older people, it's not.
Yeah, so with smart devices now, they really know everywhere that we are. Pictures that we take, there's location services on our phone, on our computer, that actually store that data, that GPS data where pictures are taken. So when we post them on social media, we're not just posting a picture of us and our family, we're also posting where that picture was taken.
Kevin Angel has worked in law enforcement, including in the Internet Crimes Against Children Division. He says the bottom line is, be careful how much you share.
Checking in at locations is also somewhat of concern. So if we check in at a place like a movie theater, for instance, we're letting somebody know where we're going to be for the next couple hours.
So Brooke puts the laptop away each night in the drawer out front, and she's careful also with her daughter's phone. After all, it's a whole new world.
No, I mean, we didn't have phones. We didn't have any of that.
And as for her daughter, so far, Sailor says she hasn't had anything bad happen. So nobody has ever tried to contact you that you don't know?
Not that I remember now.
So this technology goes so far, you take a picture and put it on Facebook, and a bad guy can punch on the picture and find out where you were when you took it.
I know. I didn't even know that until you told me that this morning.
So you have to turn off location settings on your phone. That's one step in that direction. But I mean, you've got a young sister who's a teenager. It's a constant concern,
It really is. It even is for people my age and of all generations, because as you mentioned, you can have so much that's posted on there, and you don't even know necessarily what exactly they can find, because of course they have technology that is far advanced past everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's sad. All right, 5:23 right now. Still had a Good Morning Suncoast. We'll tell you about the latest leaks ahead of the launch of the new iPhone 8.
And coming up at 5:30, a recall alert for Chevy drivers. We'll have details on the cars affected and the risk at stake. We'll be right back.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am goodwill, yeah.
I'm Alan Cohn. Well, cuts to school budgets mean high school athletes will no longer have athletic trainers at their games.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
And just a reminder, if you have any pictures or video you want to share and see on the show, send them our way to our Facebook pages.
That's right. You can post all sorts of things on there. We'd love to interact with you. I know over the weekend I got to interact with some people over at the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota County who were out there with the Tiny Hands Foundation Back to School Backpack Brigade. Had lots of people posting on social media towards us who were taking pictures with me. It was a great event. I was so glad to see so many people out there, and they said they watch us every single morning, so big shout out to them for waking up.
Yeah, I saw a video. It's amazing turnout you had there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. I can't even believe it.
Well, there shows there's definitely a need, really.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back now, 5:26 on this Monday morning.
Well, NASA is releasing some safety tips about viewing that upcoming total solar eclipse.
I know John's excited. And there's a new music video holding the spot as the most popular clip on YouTube of all time. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have that and more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, new details about the upcoming iPhone 8.
A series of leaks from Apple itself suggests the new iPhone will replace Touch ID with a facial recognition system.
We're also learning a 5th generation Apple TV is likely coming soon, capable of streaming 4K video.
NASA has new online advice for anyone viewing the upcoming solar eclipse. It says eyes must be covered at all times during viewing.
Sky gazers should not use glasses damaged in any way and avoid those not produced in the U.S. The eclipse takes place 2 weeks from today, August 21st.
All right. And a new milestone for Despacito, the most viewed video of all time already on YouTube.
It's now been watched more than 3 billion times. Despacito was originally released in January, then re-released in April with vocals from Justin Bieber. It's also the most streamed song ever.
Your earworm for the day and your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease is out there. And the Alzheimer's Association is going to make it happen by funding scientific breakthroughs, advancing public policy, and providing local support to those living with the disease and their caregivers. But we won't get there without you. Visit alz.org to join the fight.
Who knew that my period or sex, even soap, could throw off my pH balance?
Only Vagisil pH Balance Wash has lacto-prebiotic. Use it every day to help support a healthy feminine pH. Get more from your wash. Get better intimate health. Vagisil.
Ready to take control of your back pain? Try Max Strength Lidocaine. Icy Hot Lidocaine Patch and Cream.
This powerful anesthetic desensitizes aggravated nerves with the Max Strength Lidocaine available.
Lidocaine your pain with Icy Hot Lidocaine Patch and Cream.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, mobile help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, 2 double homicides in 2 days in the Suncoast. We'll have a live update from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
Plus, the UN Security Council approved sanctions on North Korea. We'll tell you what might be next for the country's nuclear program.
And iguanas can grow the size of small cats, and now the state is looking for someone to help catch them. Get your resumes updated. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Yes, I saw that iguana.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing still so hard from that iguana running away.
Yeah, I went to the Keys 10 years ago, and the iguanas are the size of cats.
Oh my goodness,
Have
I've
you ever
never
seen them?
No.
Yeah, they're more than geckos.
Oh my goodness.
They're
Wow,
huge.
that was pretty entertaining.
Yes, I also noticed, by the way, John Scalzi, when I walked to the car in the morning, there's no geckos scrambling around. The geckos sleep later than we do. Geckos can sleep in.
I had one in my shower this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah, he was just kind of laying back, enjoying the rain, you know, of the shower.
That's alarming. You pick it up finally?
Imagine how I felt.
Oh.
I don't know who was weirded out more, he or I.
Did you call your wife in to take care of it?
No, one doesn't do that at that time of the morning.
Oh no. Oh.
Kidding.
We have some decent weather shaping up for you today. A lot of sunshine to start the day, followed by some afternoon showers and thunderstorms building inland along the sea breeze front and then drifting back to the coast. Jacqueline, you got to get it together here. Coming back to you in just a second. Showers and thunderstorms gradually drift to the coastline with a 40% chance of showers today. Quiet as far as the satellite view goes, so there'll be plenty of sunshine to boost those temperatures up to near the 92 mark later on today. So a warm, sticky afternoon with a good chance of rain. Back to you.
All right, she removes the geckos, just not that hour of the day.
Right.
I got it. All right, let's check Suncoast traffic right now. No problems right now in Manatee County. Should be a smooth sail if you leave right now. Farther south now into Sarasota. Indeed, a blip still there in the southbound lane around Mound as you get past the sailor and nurse statue. And then farther south in the maps, one little blip there, 41 southbound in Venice.
Topping our news this hour, it's been a violent weekend here on the Suncoast. 5 people were shot and killed in Manatee County in 2 separate incidents. And this morning, the killers are still on the loose.
The first incident, a double homicide on Longboat Key. The second, a double, possible triple homicide in a Bradenton neighborhood. Let's go live now to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office for an update from our Jess Dowdrick. Jess?
Good morning, Jacqueline and Ray. Between the 2 incidents, police are working to identify and locate several suspects, all of which are at large this morning. However, police do not believe that the community is in any risk as both of these shootings appear to be isolated. The first incident happened at the Zoda Beach Resort on Longboat Key early Friday morning. This masked man went into the hotel just after 2:30. Police say he robbed the front desk clerk and security guard before shooting and killing them both, fleeing the hotel with the cash drawer. The victims are Timothy Hurley of Sarasota and Kevin Carter of Bradenton. Police have offered an $18,000 reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest and conviction of those responsible. Although the video only shows one suspect, police believe others could be involved. The second shooting spree happened in a Bradenton neighborhood at Bayshore Gardens on Saturday. A 25-year-old woman living in this home told deputies she was approached by 3 to 4 suspects, was forced into a bedroom inside of the home where she heard yelling and gunshots from outside of the door. She escaped and called 911. Deputies arrived to find 2 men dead inside of the home. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is still looking for 3 to 4 murder suspects in that case. The victims have been identified as Keith Jones from Jacksonville and Rodney Williams from Tampa. Now, there was another body found in Sarasota shortly after that double homicide in Bradenton. Police are investigating whether or not the body in Sarasota is related to that shooting. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Jess.
Now to some mounting international pressure on North Korea to halt its nuclear program. The UN Security Council unanimously voting to impose crippling sanctions on the rogue regime.
This as Secretary of State Rex Tillerson visits the region looking to build further consensus. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the latest, including a major move by one of North Korea's closest allies.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson in the Philippines, doubling down on efforts to isolate an increasingly hostile North Korean regime.
I think it's quite clear in terms of there being no daylight among the international community as to the expectation that North Korea will take steps to achieve all of our objectives, which is a denuclearized Korean peninsula.
In a rare show of unanimity, the UN Security Council passing sweeping sanctions. Even China, a longtime ally of North Korea, tacking on.
This resolution is the single largest economic sanctions package ever leveled against the North Korean regime. This is the most stringent set of sanctions on any country in a generation.
The heavy-handed ban on coal and other North Korean exports expected to deal a $1 billion blow.
These sanctions will cut deep, and in doing so will give the North Korean leadership a taste of the deprivation they have chosen to inflict on the North Korean people.
President Trump talking by phone to the South Korean leader, tweeting, "Just completed call with President Moon of South Korea. Very happy and impressed with the 15-0 United Nations vote on North Korea sanctions." North Korean strongman Kim Jong-un ramping up rhetoric in recent months, alarming the international community and prompting swift action with the launch of 2 intercontinental ballistic missiles in just a month. North Korea has launched 11 missile tests since President Trump took office, the regime responding to sanctions overnight, promising righteous action. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence is blasting a report suggesting that he may run for president in 2020. The New York Times reported that Pence would run if President Trump did not seek re-election, but Pence issued a statement saying that the article was offensive to him, his family, and his entire team, saying that it's laughable and absurd to suggest he's not 100% committed to Trump's agenda.
The city of Chicago plans to sue the federal government for threatening to block federal grants to cities that don't comply with federal immigration law, or so-called sanctuary cities. Mayor Rahm Emanuel said the city is suing the Department of Justice for threatening to withhold crime-fighting money. The restriction was put into place by the Trump administration. Emanuel has fought back ever since. He said the lawsuit will be filed today in federal court. If the state loses, if the city loses, it stands to lose billions of dollars in funding for things such as infrastructure and health care.
A follow-up now on that deadly Ohio State Fair accident. The Dutch manufacturer of the thrill ride that broke apart and killed an 18-year-old man now says excessive corrosion on a support beam led to that catastrophic failure. Company officials visited the accident site and conducted tests that found that the corrosion dangerously reduced the thickness on the wall of the beam holding a passenger gondola on the swinging and spinning ride. Similar rides were shut down worldwide following that accident. 4 people remain hospitalized, including 1 woman in a coma.
All right, 5:39 now. General Motors is recalling almost 700,000 vehicles for a steering issue. The company says the 2014 Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierra trucks are potentially affected. The problem is in the software that controls electric power steering assistance. It has a glitch that can cause vehicles to spontaneously lose power steering for about a second. And when it is suddenly returned, drivers can lose control of the steering wheel.
Now to a developing story just north of Tampa. Florida officials condemning 2 more homes due to a Florida sinkhole. Authorities now facing the question, can they save that neighborhood? 6 total homes have been destroyed or condemned on Ocean Pines Drive and Land O'Lakes, plagued by a sinkhole the size of a large pond that appeared on July 14th. Originally, that sinkhole was 225 feet. It is now reaching about 260 feet wide and 50 feet deep, setting the whole street on edge, quite literally.
Tile, for instance, was buckling and popping inside of the homes, and door frames were just not matching up.
In an effort to reduce damage to the rest of the neighborhood, crews have been brought in to stabilize the banks of that sinkhole. Once the edges are stabilized, workers hope to remove debris with the help of a boat ramp so that they can work from a barge, which will float on water in that sinkhole.
Could be a small platform for them to work from. They'll start to get the debris up onto the barge. They'll take the barge over to the side so that they don't actually drag anything up the slope.
The difficult part of that work will be watching out for more erosion as they work to get to that sinkhole and get it stabilized.
Are you looking for a job? How about working as an iguana wrangler? The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is looking for someone to take the lead on dealing with iguanas in the state. Great video here. Iguanas are not considered aggressive, but they do have teeth and claws and a whip-like tail. The reptiles are essentially vegetarian, but as scientists fear that they continue to endanger plants and native species, especially in the Florida Keys. That was a tennis match in Miami last year where that happened. The iguana came on the scene and delayed the tennis match while it poked around up there.
Oh my goodness.
One of the players took a picture, with the iguana behind him, and that was a picture in itself.
Well, maybe we should see if Miss Linda wants to come be
You
an
look
iguana wrestler.
horrified.
I was. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge. Oh, gross.
It is. It's big, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one?
I have. I was shocked how big and colorful they are.
Yeah. It's the first time you see one, you think you're in Jurassic Park. I mean, it's crazy.
Little dragon there on the ground. Little dragon.
Big, huge.
Don't people
thing.
have those as pets sometimes?
Well, that's why they're now wild in South Florida.
This is what has happened.
Yep. We have showers in the forecast. Talk about it in a sec.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, are vitamins and nutritional supplements actually doing your body more harm than good?
We'll tell you how these remedies may be causing something much worse up next in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. The chemotherapy drug Taxotere has been linked to permanent alopecia or permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. The FDA has urged doctors and the manufacturer to warn women administered Taxotere of the risk of permanent hair loss. If you or a loved one were administered chemotherapy chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and suffered permanent hair loss, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're starting off the morning pretty quiet, actually. Not a whole lot of activity going on. The current conditions across the region are mild. We've had a change over the weekend. You may have noticed it. Most of the day was spent sunny, followed by showers and thunderstorms late in the afternoon beginning and then gradually drifting to the coast. That's a different pattern that we have been in for over a week now, when we have seen generally a westerly wind flow creating coastal showers that moved onshore early in the morning. So a complete reversal in the timing of our showers and something more typical for this time of year. Already at this time of morning, it's being seen in the wind direction right now east at about 6. And that'll stay with us probably for the next 5-6 mornings out of the east, maybe even beyond. 77 degrees, the air temperature, dew point 74, pretty typical for this time of year. With that east wind coming across land, we have temperatures that are fairly uniform. 78 in Wauchula, 78 in Lakewood Ranch, 80 in Venice. That's kind of the typical scenario. Now we have a large cluster of showers down to the south. You'll probably be hearing about this. That's Franklin, a new tropical system. Not the one we were talking about last week, which had good possibilities of development. That one has sort of died out. But this is the one that we thought would die out, but has actually developed into a tropical system with tropical storm warnings up for the Yucatan. Now, it's of no importance to the state of Florida. It stays away, but it is producing a little bit of drier air around its periphery, and that may help to limit our rain chances for a couple of days midweek, and that's about it, really. We have lots of available moisture this morning, and showers are already in progress down to the south. Quiet conditions here locally, and don't expect to see much rainfall this morning. But by afternoon, with lots of sunshine in store for you, our daytime highs will rise up to near 90. And as that happens, actually low 90s, as that happens, our sea breeze begins to build. Showers and thunderstorms to the north of us. If you're traveling today, the Ohio Valley stretching back into Texas could be a problem. Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston as well could see some significant rain showers around. That easterly flow takes our showers, bumps up against our sea breeze front, and takes those showers and pushes them back toward the coastline. So sunshine brings warm highs. We get that sea breeze building showers, and then the east wind causes those west-moving storms. And the new storm, Franklin, stays away from the state of Florida. Forecast calling for daytime highs in the low 90s, 40% chance of rain. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at traffic in Manatee County if you're heading out the door. The biggest slowdowns really on State Road 70 heading towards 301. Other than that, pretty quiet throughout that area. In Sarasota County, looks like there is still that buildup around the bayfront towards the statue over there. Also 41 heading southbound, and Clark Road heading towards 41, seeing some more cars on the roadway. And Business 41 throughout Venice, heading northbound, seeing some more cars. Other than that, no accidents. 5:49 on your Monday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, people take vitamins and nutritional supplements to live a healthier life, but that doesn't always mean they're harmless.
A recent study finds that they're behind a spike in calls to poison control centers. Kim Hutcherson has today's Health Minute.
The rate of dietary supplement-related calls to poison control centers went up almost 50% between 2005 and 2012. That's according to a recent study published in the Journal of Medical Toxicology. Researchers examined data from the National Poison Data System, which records information on calls to poison control. Between 2000 and 2012, there were nearly 275,000 dietary supplement exposures reported to poison control centers across the U.S. Nearly all of them were unintentional. 70% of those calls pertain to children younger than age 6. For the purposes of the study, dietary supplements included vitamins, minerals, herbs, botanicals, homeopathic agents, and amino acids. Botanical ingredients were to blame in almost a third of the cases. Luckily, only a small percentage of exposures, 4.5%, resulted in serious medical outcomes. Researchers said the study underscores a need for better regulation, child-proof packaging, and more parental education. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
It is 10 to 6 now. Up next, we'll update the day's top local news headlines. And a library in Wisconsin debuts a unique way for kids to get rid of book fines.
We'll tell you how they're making overdue books a thing of the past after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, it's time to shop till you drop for back-to-school fashions. We'll talk trends, plus a Suncoast singing star and Oak and Stone in the kitchen. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Certainly a series of strange incidents over the weekend. Friday, a double homicide on Longboat. Saturday, a double, if not triple, homicide in Manatee County around Bayshore Gardens, and a body found also on Bay Vista near the Walgreens. And I saw in the listings that it happened on Harvard and Bayshore Gardens, and the body was found on Yale. What are the chances of that Ivy League surreal connection? We'll go live in about 6 minutes to the sheriff's office for an update on these stories that are breaking right now around the Suncoast.
That's right. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the other top stories here on the Suncoast today.
A hazmat scare over the weekend at a strip mall in Venice that happened at this pool supply store. Experts had to evacuate adjacent businesses on Jacaranda Boulevard.
Plus, protesters continue to hammer the South Florida Museum about the death of a longtime manatee in their care. They feel museum workers in Bradenton were negligent in caring for 69-year-old Snooty, who got stuck and drowned after getting access to a trapdoor within the tank.
And with school starting Thursday in Manatee County and next Monday in Sarasota County, social media experts are reminding parents to keep a close eye on their kids. They suggest turning off the location settings on cell phones so that the predators can't see where pictures are taken from.
Finally this hour, a Wisconsin library is being praised after doing away with the late fees and instead having kids simply read to make up for those overdue book fines. Every 15 minutes, the kids read during a 2-hour period. $1 comes off their fine. The program has been going on the last few days of summer vacation, ensuring kids always have access to books, even when they get lost in a story. Certainly a great idea. I think that's a wonderful idea.
A nice way to work off the fine,
Yeah.
do some more reading.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And
get them in the library.
Right.
I love seeing kids holding books, you know, versus their phones.
Versus their phones. I was going to say
Right.
the same thing.
Lost art.
The tablet.
Yes. 5:56, more local news and John's forecast in 3 minutes. Stay with us.